And we're live. Ahoy, crypto pirates. Welcome to Chatting with the Captain. I am the captain, your captain, RG3, Hex OG, streamer extraordinaire, the highest of stakes movie actor, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm fired up to be here, fired up to be part of the community. What an exciting time it is to be alive. What's up, Frosty Dog? Mel, Tony, thank you for coming in. Give us some price action. Where we at? 6 cents? What we got? What we got? What we got? Poking around up in there. The original Hex swimmer. Price of Pulse. Yep, get it to us, Mel. Got the Jack Nick vibe going on in the pick. Which pick is that? Oh, the highest of stakes took that picture when I was here in my studio. They did a whole bunch of stuff. Got some really cool pictures. I just went and did a photo shoot with a bunch of cars and doggy and all that stuff. Fun stuff. What's up, Tom Montoya? Clintrons, good day to you. Terry, what's happening? Briss, what's up, my little buddy? Hexagon 555. Make it Miriam. Hello, Captain and everyone. Hi there, Miriam. Glad to have you here. Alsamac 888, the magic Bitcoin number, or Chinese. Was it Chinese New Year number or Chinese number, good luck number or something like that? The eights, something like that. MT Coiner, what's up, Hexpanded? And Terry, side effects. What's up, side effects? Don't wear that bikini, bro. I saw you tweeted that bikini. You were gonna forget that. We don't need that. I think it was you that did that. Don't do that. Crypto Surfer 369. That's so bullish if it's true. Oh, wow. This countdown is something else. What did Versology say? Hi, Mel. Versology say something else? Someone told me Internet Money Wallet has a smart contract that buys and burns Hex. Is that true? Oh, we get to ask KG that, right? And he is coming on in just a moment. T-Bird, what's up? Hi, Baseline. Rich Liberation. All the folks are here. Ash Tree. Come get me, aliens. The aliens thing, man. KD needs to be addressed as the MetaMask Slayer from now on. Okay, I like that. MetaMask Slayer. So, everybody, welcome. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate you here. Getting ready for our big kickoff on the tour. And doing so, I want to start showcasing all of the projects that Hexagons are building and Hexagons are bringing to Pulse Chain that look like good projects. I have been silent, and to the dismay of some of my good friends here, like KG and all the rest of them out there, you know who you are. All you guys that I've said nothing about your projects all of this time, I am now ready to start talking about you because you have paid your dues. You guys have stood the test of time. And now you're about to launch your projects on Pulse Chain. And I'm proud of all of you. And I thank all of you for doing the work that you've done. And we're going to start talking about it. And the DeFi Tour is exactly the place that we're going to do that at. When we're out there talking to folks, we're going to let them know about all the cool stuff that's being built on Pulse Chain. So really, really excited. So without any further wait, I'm going to bring up the man himself, the man of internet money, KG. What's up, my dude? How you doing?
Hey, everybody. Hey, RG. How are you tonight, my friend?
Dude, I am freaking excellent, man. Today, I finally got all of my all my crypto housekeeping done. You know, like setting up some extra wallets and stuff. They've been sitting here, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And I finally set it all up, and got all my new security and stuff done, and got a new computer to do all that with, and everything's ready to go. So because I think it's 0 hour, I really had to get up off my ass today because I think it's 0 hour. I really think it's like 24 to 48 hours away. Maybe it's looking really close.
Oh, you think so, huh?
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking this week. So we'll see. I'm not gonna make any predictions, but
you look like you know something.
No, I don't know anything, man. I don't know anything. I've never got to spend 1 hour or let alone 1 minute in the dev room with all the rest of the freaking plebs that are in there. I couldn't believe some of the people that I heard are in that dev room. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why ain't I in there if those freaking ass clowns are in there? I mean, we got some ass clowns in that room that do not deserve to be in that room. But whatever, that's fine. Whoever's, thing they played with to get in there, that's fine. But yeah, I was like, man, why wasn't I privy to some of that stuff? But it looks like there's a lot of chatter coming out of that dev room and out of the what is it, the GitLabs. All the updates are going in. It looks like it's ready to fire, bro. Looks like it's ready to fire. So that's where I'm at with it.
Well, I'm sure I can speak for everybody when I say we hope you're right.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I know. We all hope I'm right, including myself. But hey, everybody. So I want to give you guys a little background on KG and myself. So we met first time in Vegas. We were at the second meetup event in Vegas, I think it was, where we were all at the mansion and we had hung out before that. But so I've been talking about how important these events are, these meet and greets that we have, these parties that we do, because you really get to see people and their hearts and hear their stories and look them in the eye and kind of gauge what type of human being they are. And immediately, as soon as I met KG, I can tell he was just a good dude. He was working hard. Family was important to him. His dad was working with him on this project, and everything was just like, you just get the real story, versus a 2D. What's this guy doing back there? What's this? This is just a story. But when you hear a story from somebody and they're talking to you face to face, 9 times out of 10, if you're good at it, you can gauge type of person. And I felt really comfortable and really good about KG and what his father were doing, the project that they were building, and have been watching it. And couldn't wait to see what's really going to happen with it. And so now it's here. Now we're getting ready to launch on Pulse Chain, and we can talk about it tonight now. So lay it on me, bro. Where are you guys at? What's things looking like for you guys as far as a launch goes? Is it going to happen?
As mainnet launched Pulse Chain, is that what you're asking?
Yes. Well, for you guys though.
Oh, yeah. So if Pulse Chain mainnet launched right this second,
boom,
we're firing. We're there. We've already launched our tokens and smart contracts on Ethereum and Binance, and so they're audited, ready to rock on Pulse Chain. So again, we actually have a cool feature that we're updating in the wallet right now, where we can, instead of, one feature our wallet has is we have preloaded networks in the wallet. The default wallet being Pulse Chain, right? Because we're the Pulse Chain wallet.
So the RPCs are already loaded in.
Yes, sir. We have 12 chains natively supported, but you could still do custom RPCs, of course.
So you can put a custom in too. So
100%. So one problem we are facing is those are all hard coded into the wallet. So we found a way to actually serve up the networks without having to push a new update to the app stores. So we're pushing that shortly. And once that gets accepted, I kind of want Pulse Chain. I know everyone's going to shoot me down. I need like 5 days, Pulse Chain. You waited this long. Can you give me like 5 more days, please?
That's why you hesitated with my 24 to 48 hours. And are you sure about that? Or do you want to update that one more time for me?
I need like 5 days, guys, please.
All right, we'll go for Friday. We'll go for Friday evening.
That's all. But with that update, it's going to allow us to just push it from the back end. And so, like, if we get the Pulse Chain mainnet RPC settings, we could change them in the wallet in a minute, 2 minutes. I mean, it could happen instantly. So that would be the one thing holding us back, is that the actual app stores themselves, because they have like a 5 to 7 day acceptance time sometimes.
Now, well, before we get into internet money, let's back up a little bit and talk about your crypto journey and how did you and Pops get involved in a crypto project together?
Well, I actually knew about crypto before him, but when I learned about it, I was in high school, and I actually discovered Bitcoin on the Silk Road. And if you ever browsed the Silk Road, it was actually really surreal. there was like a black banner that would run across the screen and it would tell you the price of Bitcoin. It was like $80 or something. But like I didn't have any money. I wasn't like, oh, let's ape in. And
Yeah.
then everything like all the drugs and guns.
Well, you were just
priced.
buying black market video games back then, right? Don't tell me you were buying drugs, guns, and freaking murder for hire.
No, I didn't have any Bitcoin, so I didn't buy anything.
So you were just looking and drooling.
Yeah.
You were just window shopping.
Exactly. But everything was priced in Bitcoin, so it was kind of like weird and surreal. I guess none of it clicked. But he actually got into crypto investing before I did, so he was the pioneer in that respect. He was, I think he bought Ethereum in late 2016 or maybe early 2017. He bought pretty close-ish to the beginning of Ethereum. And then I come in a couple years later, and I'm hitting it really hard. And he actually onboards me into Hex. So he's the one that taught me about Hex and opened up the can of worms here. The good can of worms, but the can of worms nonetheless. And then, the Pulse Chain sacrifice comes around. And we have already been in Hex at this point. And if those watching, if you remember the Pulse Chain Telegram room days, well, that was a really interesting and unique time because in the beginning, there was no other projects. Everybody was just talking about Pulse Chain. And then the sacrifice occurred. And then everyone's like, oh, wait, there's got to be things here. And then so you had all these different like groups of friends and teams of people like analyzing their skills and deciding what they resonate with and what value they can bring to the chain. And so all these teams are just kind of branch. It was really cool in the development of the Pulse Chain story. But all these different teams coming in, deciding what they're going to do. And actually the first thing we thought we were going to build for Pulse Chain was an Oracle, because that's just the first route we thought we were going to go. But then we're really analyzing ourselves as people, our skills, and what made sense. I come from a background of real estate. He comes from a background of sales himself. And it just made sense to Pulse Chain needs the wallet infrastructure to natively support it, right? We have MetaMask, but MetaMask, for all intents and purposes, doesn't care about Pulse Chain. And we recognize that we like to educate. We like to onboard people into things. We're good at explaining things, breaking things down. And so the wallet resonated with our ethos, and we decided to go the wallet route.
Nice. Which is definitely needed, obviously. I mean, the one thing that I do think is necessary, important, and must be fixed is the damn ledger. The ledgers are garbage in MetaMask, just absolute trash. Like you can't see a transaction, you can't see it in dollars, really. I mean, and then if you click on anything, it sends you to Etherscan, and oh, screw that. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, it is an absolute joke. It's like the geekiest of geeks wanting to flex on everybody else, showing how complicated they can fucking make something. I'm serious. That's what Etherscan is to me. It's like, oh, let's show people how smart and freaking we are, so we can fuck them all up and make them think hard. And fuck you guys and your Etherscan bullshit, man. Put the transactions so I could see them and how much a dollar amount it was and a date and a fucking time or something. This bullshit that they have in there is just garbage, man. Absolute garbage. Why can't it look like a bank ledger? Why can't it look like a transaction ledger like that?
We have that in the wallet, actually.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's what I was segueing into. I have heard and seen that you actually have that process done.
Yeah, we actually we agree completely. Like not having to go to Etherscan to get those pertinent details, like price, like token amount, like who you sent to. And actually, one iteration that we're going to come with next is we want to put custom memos. So actually, if you're on, I believe you could do it on the mobile, but definitely on the Chrome extension, you can actually export a CSV of all your transactions, and it organizes them nice and clean for you. And one thing that we want to add is custom memos. So if you're like, oh, I paid my friend, whatever. So that way, if you're doing taxes and accounting, you know exactly what that transaction was.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What a great idea. What a great idea.
Thank you.
What else might it have that makes it more simple and user friendly?
So we have the custom or the most popular networks preloaded in there. So that way, you don't have to enter in custom RPC settings for every single chain. And we want to grow that list as demand requires. I feel like our swap flow, swapping from one token to another, I feel like we've made that pretty clean and we're still improving that. I feel like the onboarding, we've given two options, right? There's new to crypto, experienced to crypto. And if you choose the new to crypto path, you're going to get a lot of extra education. We tell you right from the get go, nobody wants your seed phrase. Nobody wants your private keys. If they do, they're scamming you. So there is more of the UI that we're working towards to make it more user friendly and have a better user experience. But I think that we've taken a lot of good steps for what is soon to become the version 1 of the wallet.
Nice. Nice. Now, will hold on, uh, I need to turn my recording light on, or on air light on out there
Oh, that's
for
cool.
emergency.
That's actually pretty cool. You have one then.
Yeah, I forgot to turn it on. Usually I turn it on and they tiptoe across, or else I
Oh,
come out there screaming and yelling. But now where was
cool.
I? Doggone it. I was going to ask you about something else that you guys are putting in. See, that really ticks me off when they do that to me. Anyway, I know what it was. The onboarding platform. Can you explain? So MetaMask has this. Well, I think the first version of it they had was through that company Wire,
Mm-hmm.
and that was their onboarding platform. Of course, if you were a U.S. citizen, they gave you $200 worth of ETH, then they KYC'd you, then they shut you off. And then I think there's another platform that they're using now, and they do the same thing. They sell you $200 worth of ETH, they KYC you, then they shut you off.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you guys put together to make that process work, or what third party are you using, or how is it working?
Nothing yet,
Nothing yet.
unfortunately.
Okay.
That's the big thing we don't have right now is fiat on ramps or off ramps. There is a whole nother layer of
Yes.
legalities you have to enter into with that. But that is the phase we want to enter into. And with what Coast is doing, we're really looking to integrate with them. But we are open. We're exploring what we want to do as far as fiat on ramping, which is absolutely going to happen at some point in the future. We're just not quite there yet.
That's the brass ring that everybody's looking for, is how can we do some DeFi, well, quasi DeFi onboarding and offboarding. I mean, because no matter how you slice it, a bank receiving funds is going to want to, there's going to be some KYC in the middle of there somewhere.
Exactly.
And I'm sure as regulations start to come out, there's going to be some KYC in there. And anybody who has a wallet or anything that doesn't KYC and just somehow figures out a way to send funds is going to be under the microscope. So that's going to be interesting to see what your solutions are going to be, because I think that's the holy grail right there, is getting the onboarding process done simple and easy.
I completely agree. I actually went to Consensus in Austin a couple weeks ago, and
how was that?
Okay. I'll tell you about that.
Let's talk about Consensus here. I was almost going to go. If it wasn't for the cruise, I would have went, because I'm ready to go in there and start blasting on these motherfuckers. I'm going into these places and I'm going to start
need the
talking
pirate.
serious shit. I am.
Need it.
I'm ready, because they're pathetic. The maxis have really gone overboard. They're just the garbage that they're shilling now. Bitcoin has turned into a Rube Goldberg machine, and they're defending it, and it's just ridiculous that they just. Anyway, go into Consensus. I want to your experience.
So and I will, and the reason I brought it up is because you were talking about the onboarding, and one theme that I saw across all the projects, all the companies there, is that like this easy onboarding into my project, into crypto, seems to be the the Ark of the Covenant, that lost word that everybody in crypto is looking for. That is the holy grail. And like whoever can figure that out, it is going to have the sauce. And so it was just so interesting to see, you know, hundreds of other projects and companies there all talking about that same thing. Here's how we make onboarding easy. It's like, yeah, well, it kind of doesn't sound that easy. Anyways, but
Mm-hmm.
consensus in many, many ways was very, very cool. And if you're listening out there and you haven't been to whether it's a small gathering or a major convention, you have to go. Like RG3 was saying in the beginning, you get such a different feel, and it is just so eye-opening to how vast this industry is and how incredible this industry is. And there was a lot of Bitcoin maximalism there. I listened to a talk where I actually heard a Bitcoin maxi talking about Bitcoin ordinals versus Ethereum NFTs, and he told an outright lie. And I was like, that's uncomfortable. I really just hope you don't know that and you didn't lie to everybody here, but you definitely didn't say the real thing there, buddy. So I was like, that's kind of unfortunate. But I think largely it was very diverse in opinions, and I think that it it, it wasn't a Bitcoin maxi convention. I'll say that there was blockchains I had never even heard of there that were doing things I never even knew existed. So there was a lot of cool stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
And
No, I can't wait, because that's the other thing. It's one thing to meet with people, connect with them, and find out that they're good and they're righteous, and they're trying to make good in their crypto journey. And it's another thing to see the fakers and the phonies and those who are, faking the funk on the funky dunk. And that's the guys I want to see. I want to meet with some of these folks and talk to them and see who they really are, and what they're really trying to shill. And is it themselves? Is it their project? Is it, just because they got a bag of Bitcoin? Is somebody paying them to do that? What is it? What is it that's making them tick? Because I really want to know how anybody who understands crypto. I mean, I am not the deepest thinker when it comes to crypto. And I can clearly see the difference between Bitcoin and Hex. Clearly. There's no comparison. Bitcoin is old, dilapidated bullshit technology that doesn't work anymore. Thank you for coming and bringing us crypto, but fucking your time's over. Go away. Hex is here. It's done. It's immutable. It works. It's flawless. It's killing it. And they haven't admitted that yet. They haven't taken a good look at it yet. They still don't know what T-shares are. They still don't get it. And I want to know what's making them do that, And I know at first it was Richard, and then it was the community. And they just have one excuse after another, but they still haven't looked at the code. They still haven't sit back and understood what it is. And that's what I want to know is, why are these people so reluctant to actually look at the freaking code?
if it makes you feel any better, it's not Hex specific. They are literally just that far up their own butt. Like like I said, I literally heard a guy who was supposed to be this Bitcoin smart guy tell a blatant, like this dumb fact.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh yeah. And I'm like, he just lied to everybody, or he doesn't know what he's talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree they are definitely not adopting Hex for some reason, but it's not Hex specific. It's something to do with Bitcoin versus everything else.
Yes. I mean, if Vitalik would have thrown Hex out there, it would probably have taken like a whole different, a whole different freaking meaning, a whole to crypto. It would have been like, oh, he'd have been praised for it, But because it was Richard and us, it was, oh, not those guys. No. Not him. No. That is not the king in his court of crypto. Please, not them. Anything but them. I could just tell that's kind of it. I was literally at a Robert Kiyosaki event, and I'm not going to say his name because I am friends with him and I do like him and I think he's a smart man. But there was a speaker that was speaking on crypto, and he said absolutely nothing about crypto. Nothing. And even talking to him, he was very closed off about anything else other than Bitcoin. And at the time that we spoke, it was over a year ago. At that point, I understood where he was coming from, because at that point I knew that 99.9% of the cryptos that are out there are trash, you know? And I mean, if Bitcoin sucks and Ethereum is failing, then everything else is just absolute shit, right?
Yeah.
So he was right to be that cautious about everything that's out there. And so, but the problem is that these folks that we go and see and we sit down and we listen to them, you know, I mean, we went to the school of Richard Hart for the last few years. Man knows his crypto. He knows things that people in the space didn't know. Hell, this community has put stuff on his lap that he's like, oh, I didn't see that. I didn't know that about Hex. I mean, even me, I even told people to early end stake before big payday to get them more T-shares.
Ooh,
And that came from me. So
nice.
the community and Richard and all of us have added so much to crypto, but these people, they don't know that. They didn't educate themselves the way we were educated and we educated each other, So I get it, but it's time. Their time is up. Their time for laying around and doing nothing and not giving Hex its props and its people its props. The time is up. It's over. Now with the launching of Pulse, we're just gonna have to take over because they're not gonna do
it. I agree, and it's so funny. Even in the Bitcoin community, they're not unified anymore because there's Bitcoin bros that kind of like Ethereum stuff and are doing it on Bitcoin, but they don't want to say, oh, we like Ethereum. They're just like doing low key smart contracts on Bitcoin right now. And they're like, oh, we love it. But no, not Ethereum. I'm like, yeah, but you're like doing the same thing. What are you
Didn't
talking
some
about?
kind of smart contract or something get launched today on Bitcoin? Something happened today like that. I saw it somewhere. I didn't get into the deep reading of it, but
dude, they're doing NFTs. They're doing straight like they don't call them smart contracts. I can't remember what they're called, but it's effectively the same thing. And actually, if you saw that Binance paused Bitcoin withdrawals, not because Binance is, but it's because Bitcoin is so clogged up with all the Ethereum stuff that's happening over
there. The Rube Goldberg machine, like I said, has gummed itself up.
Literally.
It's like it's just and it's not getting to it. It's not lighting the match that fires off the birthday cake or whatever. It's
right.
It's keeps going around in circles and the balls are dropping, the hammers are thing, and the freaking dominoes are falling, and it just keeps on going and going and going, and no one's getting anywhere. It's literally that. It's a constant, never-ending Rube Goldberg machine, just over and over and over, trying to make it work, and it's not going to, not until they look away. Look, I was always told that when a door closes, another one opens.
100%.
But if you're standing there looking at the closed door, you're never going to turn around and see the open one that just opened for you. And that's what they're doing. They're standing there staring at their closed door, which is the Bitcoin. It's over, guys. It's done. There's no more gains in it. It's garbage technology. It's old. Mining is going to go away. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. Not even the miners want to mine anymore. They're tired of it. It's killing them. They get crushed every time. And the mining is consolidating more and more because all the little guys are getting wrecked out of it. Every bear market, they get destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. So if you're a little guy thinking about mining, think again. You're going to get fucked. You will get fucked. Promise you. Next bear market, or you're going to feel like you're on a high horse with your little miner that you finally get, if they give it to you at all. When you're in a bear market, you're going to lose your shit. And you'll do just like everybody else. The smartest miners I know have a stack of them things in their garages and their closets, doing nothing, absolutely nothing.
Well, you're competing with countries at this point. Like, who are you with your one tiny miner?
It's stupid. It is absolutely stupid. And even if you like went balls deep and you put 5 miners in your room, you're still, it's garbage. You're not getting anything out of it.
Acres of buildings.
Acres, bro. I've seen them. I've been in them. You can't hear the heat, like you're sweating when you go into these places. It's just, man.
And then also nobody really wants to talk about too in the Bitcoin community. Okay, so at one point the mining, there's not going to be any more Bitcoin to mine. So then how do miners get paid to secure the network? Well, you got to pay fees. So theoretically, you're already paying the fees and then you have the mining rewards. Well, in my opinion, I think that the fees, and it may have already been said, but the fees are going to have to increase because now the miners lost that revenue stream. So now they're
Mhm.
disincentivized to secure the network. So how are they going to pay them to secure the network? It's through fees. There's no other way. So it's
Yep.
probably even going to be more expensive as time goes on eventually to transact on Bitcoin.
Mhm. It's a never ending cycle of just spinning down into the toilet. It's going down, and it may take a couple more cycles before they realize it. But I think that what is emerging right now with Hex and Pulse Hex, real DeFi, all the projects. I mean, think of all the things that are being built on. You got wallets. You've got people out there trying to figure out the onboarding situation. You've got, gosh, lending platforms. You've got shorting. People can go short now. I mean, you name it. Leverage. It's all there. It's all there. It's all getting ready to just boom, and DeFi will be here when Pulse Chain launches. I mean, it's going to be absolutely. I mean, it's one thing. All the hexagons that are waiting for their free worthless tokens that are about to come out. Um, that's one thing of the excitement. But think about what this really means for crypto, right? I mean, it's like it solves the energy problems. It solves the speed problems. It solves the freaking throughput. All that stuff is just solved. And now we can all go out and DeFi. We can literally go out and DeFi, you know, and that hasn't been in existence. I mean, Ethereum, it was teasing us like, hey, we got the technology, but forget trying to do anything. We're going to make it. It's going to be so damn expensive and so slow that you're not. It's going to be worthless, which is where it's at now. So, man, so excited to see all this stuff come up. Hey, D'Artagnan, thanks, buddy, for the $2. A little RG3 quote. Thank
You'll
you.
get ucked.
Myself, man. It's weird. You start talking about yourself in the third person. It's weird, huh?
We have our characters, man. We
Right.
all. I have a theory that everybody has some degree of multiple personality disorder, but that's probably a different conversation.
Oh, no, I agree. I definitely have. I definitely have multiple personality disorders. Definitely.
I'm my own best friend, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah. I like him. Nobody else does, but I like the guy. Take some time off there, RG. You need it. You need it. I cannot wait. I'll tell you what. When this launches, though, I am going to be ready for some time off. Damn sure ready for some time. What do you got there, Bullish? Let's bring that up. Is that something we want to see right now? Oh, hey, here we go.
All right.
So now, browser wise, so it says download our crypto wallet. Browser wise, does this work on all browsers, certain browsers, Chrome? What is it? What does it work on?
So right now it's a Chrome extension, and because it's a Chrome extension, it works on Brave browser, but we have not actually focused attention on supporting any like of the weird bugs that come up on Brave. So whatever you're using on Brave is just an extension of the Chrome it's an extension of the extension. And so we will focus some attention on Brave later. But so basically you have Brave, so natively supported Apple, Android, Chrome, and then Brave, kind of.
And then what? Firefox, probably.
Eventually, yep, absolutely, Firefox. And actually, I know we in this community, we love our Chrome extensions and our hardware wallets. I recognize that we're the distilled crypto community, but Apple, that's actually a really big achievement that we just accomplished. So we've been on Android and Chrome for 7 or 8 months now. And the entire time we've been trying to get on Apple as well. And we learned a lot there it's basically crypto versus Apple, and Apple completely doesn't know what's going on. And so we have a part of our legal team specializes in SEC and FinCEN regulation and all the laws regarding around crypto. Like that's what they focus in on. And so we
Mhm.
actually ended up having to activate our legal team to go through several rounds of legal debate with Apple's legal team. And it was a multinational legal opinion that we had to compile and argue with Apple. And it's funny because Uniswap was fighting the same fight with their wallet. And literally the same week, us and Uniswap got listed. So I think we
Hmm.
were, without knowing it, helping each other. And
Yeah.
so now what's so cool about being all on all these three platforms, but Apple specifically, because Apple is the number one app store in the world, both from consumer trust ratings, but also from
Yep.
sheer volume of money and downloads and all that sort of thing. And now Pulse Chain, this I want this to set in for people. Pulse Chain now has representation and a voice on the world's largest app store. That
Awesome.
that's like, to me, that it's hard to sleep at night when I
Well,
think
see,
about that.
and that's what's cool is that the community is doing this stuff. This isn't Richard that put that out there, did the work. I mean, Richard could have never spent the time and the put the legal effort into going and doing what you guys did. He's way too busy to like all of these little things. For instance, the Hex Investment Trust. We put Hex into a derivative product on the NASDAQ. And thank you. And and because we've done that, the SEC has basically kind of allowed Hex to be in a security as not a as a commodity. So Hex exists as a commodity in the Hex Investment Trust that is a security, a registered security. And now, if there's any argument about what Hex is, we have a legal opinion and a legal argument to say that, hey, you guys
Yeah.
really have said that this is a commodity, you know, and there's going to be a day when we get to fight that battle, and we're working on it and we've got legal team, but Richard's not doing that. Richard didn't have anything to do with that, um, he helped us by providing legal documentation that they wrote up, the lawyers' opinions on Hex, that we were able to submit to the SEC when we created the Hex Investment Trust, which they looked at with like, hey, that's great, looks good. So, I mean, they don't put a stamp of approval on anything per se, but they have allowed us to operate. And even when they did their investigations, so the community's out there busting hump and doing things, and that's what a crypto is supposed to be: is backed up, made better, made stronger by the community. And that's why my hat's off to you, man, for what you guys are doing. Because, like you said, you guys put that on the biggest freaking app store in the world, and you went through the legal rigmarole. You did all this stuff. You jumped through the hoops. You crossed your T's. You dotted your I's. You waited. You paid money to get all of that stuff done for this community. So thank you for the hard work and for putting your efforts into it.
I really appreciate you saying that, man. That means the world coming from you. I have a high regard for you. And also, I
Oh,
think
thanks, man.
people sleep on the investment trust too. And what I'm sure I'm sure none of us can even begin to imagine. We're just dealing with Apple. You guys are dealing with like the guy, you know.
Oh boy. Yeah, there were some scary times and some like, oh man, we gotta, and like my hat's off to Kinetics and Wales. Those two guys worked their absolute freaking asses off. I mean, they were up day and night writing the paper, the paper that needed to be submitted to them, and jumped through the hoops and went back and forth and back and forth. I mean, for a solid year, these guys were just tirelessly working on that. And they don't get enough credit for it. You know what I mean? For what they've done. I mean, there is a grayscale alternative to Hex in the NASDAQ now through the Hex Investment Trust that literally exists, not that it's like, of course, right when it came out and launched, we had a monster bear market. So, it hasn't been, the product that we thought it would be. at this point. But when the next bull market comes and when Hex gains popularity, that is going to be a very attractive offering to people that are in the trading world, that don't want to diversify their assets into real crypto, but want to keep into their trading platforms that they're in, the Nasdaq and whatnot, and hold their investment there. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. Just like a wallet. I mean, geez, what a great idea to fix MetaMask is bull crap.
And I see back here we're getting asked about the Hex buy and burn. If you want to,
yes,
if you want to talk,
let's go into that. Let's go into that because anything that is burning or locking away Hex is a plus to the ecosystem.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you say it, but the Hex Investment Trust does the same thing. It is non-redeemable. So when the Hex gets purchased and the paper is created for the derivative, that paper can be traded and sold, but it cannot be redeemed for Hex. It can only stay on the platform. So that means that the Hex is always locked away, and it's basically burns.
And I think that people sleep on the burning or locking mechanic of Hex.
Yes.
But it's like, Hex inflates. And so anything that reduces the inflation of Hex is net beneficial for Hex, especially, okay, so with the Hex Investment Trust, with what we're doing, when this Hex gets burned, because Hex doesn't actually have a burn function outside of when you go to stake it, right? I'm using air quotes. Yeah. So that's the only way you can actually burn Hex. So with the investment trust, with our buy and burn, it is always locked. And so it doesn't affect negatively the yield for the other stakers, miners. It actually amplifies your rewards because that's Hex that can never be staked and take a percentage of the staking rewards. So
yeah, it gets taken away from the supply that can actually dilute the pool.
Exactly.
And the OA already does that. And there's going to be many more projects that do that. On top of that, Hex itself, the staking function itself, not only does it delay the inflation sometimes up to 15 years, at least a day or longer, you're going to get people that are long-term stakers or people that have invested that are going to go, well, I don't want to cash all my Hex out. So some of that inflation may not ever see the light of day. It might keep getting restaked and restaked and restaked. So the low inflation of Hex is going to get insane. The rarity and scarcity of Hex to stake is going to get insane. I mean, the more projects that come out like yours and mine, and there's going to be plenty more that are going to burn or lock away Hex. Promise you that. Once people realize that, oh my gosh, you don't know how high the price of Hex can actually go. It's going to be insane.
When there's not much to buy, when there's not much of something to buy and a lot of people want to buy it, the number only has one direction that it can go. So
only one direction.
So the way it works in our system is, we have a token called time. It's this one right here, time. Okay. And the way this token works is actually we invented as a team, we invented this new token standard for crypto. And now you don't have to stake it, delegate it, lock it up, nothing like that. The token remains liquid all the time.
So just holding it is the function.
Just holding it is the function. And this is where the innovation comes in. So with the Internet Money wallet, you can do in-app swaps like MetaMask, like Trust, like these other wallets. We charge a fee like the other wallets. Our fee's cheaper, for one, but 100% of the fee that is generated by the wallet is distributed to the holders of the time token. And that fee is paid in the native coin. So if you're holding time on Ethereum, you get ETH. If you're holding time on Pulse Chain, you get Pulse. And it's
Ooh.
and it's a sustainable model because it's a revenue generation based model. It's not like, oh, hey, the APY is, we're promising 7%. No, some days you might get a penny, some days you might get $100. It literally depends on the volume of
transactions.
Exactly. And you can claim this is another part of the innovation, is you can claim your rewards as frequently as every block if you choose so. There's no minimum or maximum time of reward accrual. So you could be somebody, if you want to sit there all day and pay that gas to claim, by all means, buddy, that's your prerogative. If you go into a coma and you wake up 25 years later, it's going to be waiting for you right there. No admin keys, no taxes, or no, it's immutable, no taxes, none of that. Now, here's where the buy and burn comes into play. This is why I described the token. So there's a fixed supply of the time token of 2 billion tokens. A portion of that supply is going to go into a smart contract, which means that as the dividends, Pulse and ETH, are being distributed to time holders, the smart contract itself is going to get some of those dividends, Pulse and ETH. And it's going to be able to claim its dividends like every other holder. Now, here's where the Hex buy and burn comes in. It uses its ETH, it uses its Pulse that it's earned and claimed to buy Hex off of the open market.
And E-Hex or P-Hex is what you're saying?
Both. Yep. There'll be two contracts running in parallel. And it sends it to the debt address burned. And for those that don't know,
wait. Back up real quick. You cut out for some reason. It sends it to the what address?
The debt address.
Okay.
Yep. And for those that out there that don't know what that is, it's an address with all zeros and literally ends in the word dead. And nobody has the keys to this address. Thousands and thousands of tokens use it to burn their tokens. And so Hex will be sent there and it's irretrievable. Nobody can retrieve it, not even Vitalik himself. And so it's effectively burned. And so as the wallet...
But it's not technically burned. It's actually sent to that wallet address, right?
Correct. Yes. So it's not technically burned, but it's effectively burned. Because
you can't redeem it. It's locked.
Exactly. And it's bought. So it gets that buy pressure to Hex.
Now I don't understand this. Is that how every burn function works? Or is there a burn function where those tokens do not even exist anymore? Because if you go to the null address, they call it, right? So if you go to the null address, you don't see the tokens in the null address. So I don't understand, you don't see the transaction. You don't see anything. It's just, they're sent there and they just go into like a purgatory. Is that how it works? Or I haven't understood that completely yet.
Well, there are some tokens, and like in Hex, when you stake it, you actually delete. There is a burn function in tokens that you can you delete the token from existence. Etherscan no longer counts it in the total supply. It literally is like that one turns to a 0. It's gone. But when a token or contract doesn't have the actual built-in delete me burn function, you send it to the debt address.
Okay.
And so that's how
or null address. They call it a null address or debt address. Gotcha.
Exactly. So that's how you achieve. So it's not technically burned, but it's effectively burned because it can never be accessed again.
Gotcha. Okay. I wanted to clear that up because I know there's been some questions about it, and I didn't have the answers to it. Somebody had asked me that question too. And I know that you send something to the null address, forget about it. It's gone. You know what I mean? So, but I didn't know the technicalities. And of course, all the geeks want to know the technicalities.
Of course. I love talking that stuff. And what's so cool about this, so another just like little think we have in the wallet is Hex, PulseX, and the tokens in our ecosystem are preloaded with logos, right? So it's like if you download the wallet, you're natively connected to Pulse Chain and Ethereum, and you got Hex in there ready to go. So you don't have to mess around out there with entering contract addresses when you're onboarding people. So as more Hexicans use the wallet to do their swaps, now I'm going to address this too, because this is a question I get every single time I talk about this, and I already have the answer. If Hexicans come into the wallet and do their swaps, more hex gets bought off the open market and burned, right? That's a statement of fact. Now, people are going to say, well, why would I swap in the wallet when I could just swap directly on the DEX? Why would I do that? Well, two reasons. A, swapping directly on the DEX doesn't buy and burn hex. B, if you go directly to a DEX, you may not actually be getting the best deal. And here's why. In our wallet, we have a DEX aggregator. So when you want to swap from token A to token B, it goes out and it searches all the DEXs that are included in our aggregator. So yes, you're going to pay a fee for that service. But because it's searching all the DEXs and multiple pathways, because to get to your token, you may actually end up with more tokens at the end of your swap because you got a more efficient route to get to the desired token.
You even beat the fees because you had the more efficient route.
Exactly. So you might pay a fee, but you could still end up with more than going directly to Uniswap or PulseX or whatever.
So it's like a matcha or a 1inch. You've actually built that aggregator into the wallet.
Correct. And right now it natively supports PulseX, right? So like in the wallet, if you swap in the Internet Money wallet, okay, listen to this just mind-blowing Pulse Chain game theory. If you swap in the Internet Money wallet on Pulse Chain, you're swapping through PulseX already. So you're already doing the damage there and the good damage, but you're also buying and burning hex on Pulse Chain. So you're not giving up accessing the Pulse Chain things you love and believe in.
That's great. Anything that destroys hex, I love. I love. Burn it, destroy it, get rid of it, lose it, whatever. Just get rid of as much hex as possible. I'm down for that. I am down for that.
Don actually has a term he's trying to get to stick. It's called pyromaniac volume maxis.
I like it. I like it. I am pyromaniac volume maxi. Let me switch from the show real quick. I have to say a shout out to somebody real quick. My man, Kyler Kaufman. So I got the most freaking awesome call today, guys. Kyler called me up and said, "Hey, Cap, freaking just want to tell you, I'm so excited. I'm fired up." He opened up his own studio out there where he lives, and he's doing good work for young actors and helping them with an acting school that he opened up on his own because of all of us, because of Hex. He said, so thank you to you, man, and everybody else. And he's a freaking hardworking young man that has just got his focus on. He's doing things in his community. He's building things with his Hex gains, and he's doing it for the community he cares about, which is the acting community. And I just freaking love that. And on top of it, he said, I'm teaching these guys, how to act and how to, we've got they've got a full spectrum deal there where they do headshots and audition prep and all this other stuff that they do. They have it all one-stop shop, not only acting classes and whatnot, but all this other stuff that provides support for actors and actresses. And he's doing all of this on top of it. He wants to add financial literacy into his program and teach people about crypto and saving and spending their money right. Because a lot of actors, young actors, they get this money and they don't understand that, and they get screwed over, and they get this agent and that agent, and this person, that manager, and this start screwing with their money. But Kyler's going to circumvent that, and he's going to go out and teach literacy to the acting community that he's supporting. So my hat's off to you, bro. Good job, man. And thank you for the call today. It warmed my heart. Appreciate it.
Man, huge shout out to Kyler. He's one hell of a skateboarder too.
Yeah, he is.
And actually, it's really funny. So here's one for the people out there. All right, my name is also Kyler, and so Kyler and I.
Me too.
Kyler's everywhere.
Just kidding.
So we actually originally connected because the joke that we have running, because my name has an E in it. And so the running joke is his family couldn't afford the vowel. I thought I'd share that. It's a funny joke. Proud of you, Kyler. Really.
All right, let's address something here. And you've already addressed it.
I see the comment. Times. I just told everybody my name, and we're going to talk about this. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I saw it. I saw what you said, and I was like, ooh, that one's gonna hurt. That one's gonna hurt my buddy there.
Let's do it. I love it.
And so lay it on everybody what happened, and then we'll chat a little bit about
Well, first of all, his name is Hex Bear, so who's the real problem? But second of all, look, for those that don't know the story, I had one day I woke up, I had an early morning stream, and I had stayed up till like 4 a.m. the night before. And I have 2 young children, mind you, everybody. And I saw some stuff on chain that I felt a certain way about, and I was totally being accusatory. I had no proof of anything that I was saying, but I got less than optimal hours of sleep. I was stressed. I was on stream. I was hot the next day, and I said some stupid stuff. And I've addressed it like 100 times in public. I'll keep addressing it, but that was over a year ago at this point. And if everybody was beholden to their worst day, we're all going to hell, boys and girls.
Oh, I know I am, but with a can of gasoline in a wicker basket. That's me for my sins. But no, you know what, bro? I heard it, and look, I've said some nasty shit about Richard. I said some stuff in the movie that isn't flattering to Richard. But it's not because I don't love the guy. You know, I can criticize whoever I want. You know, I criticize my own brother, my father, and my mother. You know, I mean, it happens. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're in hate of that person or whatever. And especially when you walk it back and say, hey, look, I was in a bad way. I said some stupid shit. I really didn't mean all of it. Some of it maybe, but you know, I was being accusatory. I have no proof. I was a freaking douchebag on that. So hats off to you. You did it and you said it, and that's fine by me. Anybody who makes right on themselves, like everybody deserves a chance. If there were no chances, I damn sure wouldn't be here. I'd be locked up in a cell somewhere or in the ground like I deserve to be. But you know,
no, you don't, man. No, and you know, too, one final point out. Well, first of all, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your understanding. The one final thing I want to say about it is every now and then the video circulates, and actually the thing about the video is, look, I get it. You're looking out for you're trying to look out for your fellow Hexican. I get that, but you also got to think there are people that watch this community all the time. Maybe somebody sees that video as their first impression into Hex, and it scares them away. Because even though I was wrong, maybe they believe it. And we don't want that. We don't want people thinking that that's real, because that is not good for business, so to speak. So, you know, take that for what you will, but I'll keep addressing as long as it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, the best thing is to talk about it. The best thing is to have an open book about it. The best thing is not to try and hide it. And when people say something down, say, okay, fuck you. Look, I'll tell you about it. All right. You know, come on, tell me you. Well, anyway, I don't want to say some stuff like anybody in that chat room who hasn't done some stupid shit in their life. Yeah. Okay. You know, but
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, it you know, we've all done it. We've all said things. And the fact that you know, the bear was put in timeout. Oh, I didn't put him in timeout, but somebody else. That must have been the producer. That's okay. And you don't have to put Bear in timeout. I'm cool with Bear saying whatever he wants. That's fine. Anyway, I don't like people talking shit about me. When they talk shit about me, that's when we time them out. Anybody can talk shit about anybody else. That's fine. When they talk about me, the captain gets to hit the
get him out of here. Walk the plank.
Walk the plank. Anyway, so yeah, you're welcome, Kyler. You're welcome. You're the man. We appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thanks, bro. No, I'm
so what else, bro? What do we got to do to wrap this up? Because we're an hour in, and I want to get this thing cut down. But I know we had even more to talk about. You gonna be able to hit us up on the Pulse Chain tour? Will you be available to speak when we come close to your location?
Dude, if you're within a 1-day drive, I'm there, bare minimum. I may even be willing to go further with enough notice. Absolutely 100% would love to be a part of it.
Have you looked at the schedule?
No. Where's the schedule?
If you go to pulsechaintour.com, you can actually see that. And without doxing you, just look at one of those locations that, there we go. And yeah, you can put it up, Bullish. You can
Yeah,
put up some of the dates so he can see the dates. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. All right. I will look.
But we're going.
I'll find one.
Yeah, Seattle, Portland, Denver. There we go. Seattle, Portland, Denver, Northern California. Then we're going to Chicago, New York, Tennessee, North Carolina, and then I think there's a few places in between too. And then Dallas, and we got 2 Texas meetups. We got a Houston or an Austin and a Dallas, and then we got back to LA, Phoenix. I forgot to tell the people in the meeting that we are going to do a Vegas event. We have to put a Vegas event in there, and Dollar Cost Crypto is going to co-sponsor that with me. We got to figure out what time to put that in there. I haven't talked to to the team about it yet, but we're going to put I'm going to put a Vegas event in there.
I will be at least 2 of those.
Perfect.
At least.
Well, let me know which ones. Get with you know Black Hexkin, Caitlin.
I do.
Yep.
Reach
out to her so that we can get you on the schedule for those, and we can get you talking and come hang out with us. Be cool.
Oh man, thank you for the opportunity. I would love to. And also, if I could give another shout out, I saw my beautiful wife in the chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's out there. So thanks for tuning in. Shout out to AG. That's my beautiful wife.
Right on. Creeping on you. Watching what you're doing.
I love it. I love when she creeps on me.
Right
in a good way. In a good way.
All right, bro. Any last words? Any last words before we close it off tonight?
Man, first of all, again, thank you for having me on. Thank you for supporting us, giving us a voice. The closing statement is we are on Android, iOS, and Chrome. We are on the final stretches of a fully security audited version 1 of the wallet. This wallet right now is the only wallet in existence that natively supports Pulse Chain. It is the easiest way in existence to interact with Pulse Chain, Hex, and PulseX. It is by the community for the community. And if you have not downloaded it, I ask, please download it. It is in beta right now. We're so close to being out of beta. And even if you don't make it your main wallet, it helps the statistics on the App Store, which gets more eyes on Pulse Chain. And hey, maybe you legitimately throw $5 in there, $10. Test it out. Give us feedback. We have a lot of people using it, giving great feedback. It's helped us really refine it. And we are starting to have a really clean and stable wallet. So internetmoney.io is the website, and our Telegram, our Twitter, everything is at internetmoney.io. Just follow us there for updates. And Hex Buy and Burn, on everything goes like it should, next week coming to a blockchain near you.
And I was going to say, the most important feature, it is the only wallet that is going to be burning Hex.
Exactly. And that's not a sacrifice. That's not a coin. That's like just a contract that we're putting into existence. So if everything goes well, we will see that real deal next week. Right
on. Dude, so proud of you, man. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for doing what you do, and keep up the good work and keep going. And we'll see you on the road, my man.
I truly appreciate you. Same to you. Thank you for all you do, man.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you on Wednesday with famous Wednesday night DeFi Syndicate. Take care.